Okay, so basically what we wanted to do is an integration with Azure B2C and reviewing tickets. Before there was a different way to do this, but it's been changing through the time. So a few days ago, we bumped into this ticket that auto login was not working anymore. So the idea here is kind of really simple. Since staff Blazor use ASP.NET Core as base, in there you can have middlewares. So once you have a middleware, you can intercept the request that you do to the server. So the idea here is, okay, let's add a middleware that allow me to sign in with some URL parameters. So this is the middleware in general. This is something that is .NET, is not too much related to XAF. So you create a middleware, which basically is a class that if you go and check the references, you only use it in one place. In here, after you add the use XAF, you add the middleware class, like it, and this can be any middleware class in general. So if you go and check the implementation, what it does is once you send a request to the server, ASP.NET Core set the request through all the possible middlewares, and you catch it in a method, and you decide, okay, I need to do this or that, or if it's not something that you will be able to handle, you just forward it to the next middleware. So in here, there is this method actually invoked that all middleware should have that will receive the HTTP context. So in here, what we do is we get the URL parameter of user ID, and if we have it, then we try to look for that user. We create an object space and without security, and then we look for the user. And if the user is allowed to log in by URL, then we continue and we create, with this code, we create the principals. So the idea is to get the IS standard authentication identity creator service. And with that, you create the claims. And with the claims, you can basically sign in, which is that part there. So let's run this and let's see how it works. So I'm going to run this. Okay, so here you can see the users, and there is an extra property in the users, like login by URL. So let me log off. So the idea here is that if I do a request to this URL, which contains in the URL, it contains the parameter user ID, and then we pass the OID of the user that should be logging in this case. What will happen is that here, the request was passed to the middleware. The middleware identified that, yet it contains the user ID parameter. Then it parsed the value of the parameter to a GUID. And then with that GUID, we create an object space and find the object. And then we verify if this user is allowed to sign in by URL. So this is the user. It's actually the username user in this case, and is allowed to log in by URL. So then we come to this other part. And we have created the identity. And to create identity, you need to pass the user key, whatever that is. In this case, is the OID. So I convert it to a string, and then I pass that as user key and the username. And with that, you have the claim identity. So once you have the claim identity, you just create the principal and sign in. And then you have to, you need to stop sending this request to the other middlewares and just redirect to the root of the URL, which means the root of the application. So basically, this is the part that will sign in the user in code. So then let's run here. And there you go. You're able to log in by URL. And the parameters can be as complex as you want, or you can actually interact with other systems, like query other systems to know, okay, this user can log in or not. So, well, that was everything for